sustainable aviation fuel requires large projects to be built and funded. And so from the point of view of project lending, where projects are constructed and are financed, obviously this is an important part for banks to play. And importantly, even more so, where many banks are now trying to pivot away from the financing of projects that involve fossil fuels. So to that end, the creation of projects that produce sustainable aviation fuel are a new industry. So by definition, banks with all their services, whether they are project lending, cash management, trade services, these are projects that obviously would be very, very attractive in that perspective. So that's one area. The other area is that some banks like ours are very much involved in trying to incubate the development of these projects. So we go one step before, where we actually work with technology companies, with small high IP organizations, to actually create the architecture of the projects and bring early risk capital into them, as well as then guide them through to the point where the engineering studies are done, and those projects are then ready for debt financing of projects. So it's one step before. And invariably that's a very important role, because if you're in a bank where you've had exposure to structured finance, to risk management, to policies, you've got technical expertise, and you've got broader networks, that entire sort of tapestry of components have to be brought together to actually make that viable. The aviation industry has this ability, through contributing capital, to unlock new SAF pathways by supporting technologies, by opening up access to new feedstocks like waste, for example. And in so doing, that risk capital, even though it is risk capital, is a small fraction of the financial risk that the industry is now exposed to. And my argument is they can't sit around and do nothing. The risk to the industry is enormous. So to that end, investing that capital to unlock that not only provides that opportunity where you're more in control, you're developing your intellectual property, you're potentially opening up new pathways, but in doing so, the aviation industry is actually one of the few industries where the product that it's looking for may enable the financing of the cleanup of nature, the environment, and changing communities. And that is not just wealthy, affluent communities driving around in EVs. We're talking about impoverished communities where waste is linked to river systems, soil, water, atmosphere, child mortality rates, infant mortality rates. And so the aviation industry's best story is the fact that it may be the catalyst to help clean up those environments and create independence.